The resilience of the optimistic mindset is one that helps create that ripple effect that we talk about on this program so often. Because not only do optimists live better lives, but their positivity influences the people around them. Social support networks thrive, relationships are more joyful, and communities become stronger when optimism is at the core. So, if you think that you're not super optimistic, the good news is that it can be cultivated by anyone.
What is up, Impact Heroes? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Rick Ornelas. Thank you for spending some time with us today because we know time's a valuable resource and we're going to make it worth your while. I appreciate each and every one of you, not just for listening, but for who you are. I know you're sparking change to make the world a better place every day, and I am humbled and grateful for your efforts. It takes all of us doing our part to spread positive change, and that's what this show is all about. Motivating you with stories of struggle, courage, and hope to empower you to make a difference in your life and the lives of others.
In case you missed it,
Every day, you see somebody you might not know or you do know, and you judge them immediately. And usually the judgments are negative, and the judgments might be true, but you'll have a judgment on somebody and it doesn't serve you or them in any way, shape, or form. So I really try every day to recorrect those judgments in my own head. I don't need to say them out loud, but somebody doesn't know if I'm judging them or not. But when I see somebody and I think something negative, I try to say a prayer for them and try to say something good about them, just to myself.
available everywhere you listen to your podcasts.
Welcome back, Impact Heroes, to the latest edition of I Spark Change Through. Now, our goal with these episodes is featuring all the different ways that us and others spark change to make the world a better place through social impact and positive change. We found over the past few years that there are endless ways to positively impact the days of others. And so the response to this segment has been extremely positive, and we are going to continue these episodes because we have had them on sparking change through fitness, adventure, mind, body, spirit, volunteering, mental health awareness, writing, interns, cultural exchange, networking, time, self-care, gratitude, love, purpose, listening, collaboration, mental health, remembering loved ones, constant learning, and the value of hard work. So on that note, I have a question for you. How do you spark change? One of the ways we spark change here at I Spark Change is through optimism, through understanding the value of optimism. Because in today's world, we are filled with constant challenges and uncertainties, and optimism emerges as one of the most powerful tools we can use to spark positive change. It's not about ignoring reality or sugarcoating difficulties. Instead, it's about focusing on hope, resilience, and the belief that things can improve even when faced with adversity. It's all about that perspective, folks. So personally, optimism has played a pivotal role in guiding my journey from founding I Spark Change to overcoming personal challenges, and it's the force that keeps us moving forward when the road gets tough. So here's some of the benefits on the power of optimism. It doesn't just shape our outlook. It dramatically impacts our lives on every level: physical, emotional, social, you name it. Because optimistic individuals tend to experience a higher quality of life. That is scientifically proven, as I'll get into. They have better overall health, they're stronger, they have more fulfilling relationships, and they handle stress more effectively. They view setbacks as opportunities for growth, and they seize chances to improve their circumstances. They're always looking for that silver lining, right, in the dark cloud. So research shows that optimists are also more successful in school, sports, and work, which leads to better career outcomes and higher job satisfaction. And that, my friends, often translates into financial success because optimistic people are likely to perform better in their careers, resulting in higher incomes and longer job retention. Now, if that's not enough, let me share some more that might get you moving. All right. Optimism has profound effects on physical health as well. And studies have shown that people who maintain a positive outlook are 35% less likely to develop heart disease. It is literally good for your heart, okay? It lowers your blood sugar, it lowers cholesterol, it lowers blood pressure, and it reduces the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Unbelievable, right? So moreover, an optimistic mindset helps boost your immunity and reduces the likelihood of infections and even lowers the risk of certain cancers. This is getting ridiculous here. If you're not optimistic, you certainly need to be. Optimists tend to live longer, with research indicating they have a 15% longer lifespan and a 50% greater chance of living past 85 compared to their pessimistic counterparts. So the facts are there. The statistics are there. It's great for your health in dozens of ways. Okay. Now, akin to that is the resilience of the optimistic mindset is one that helps create that ripple effect that we talk about on this program so often, because not only do optimists live better lives, but their positivity influences the people around them. Social support networks thrive, relationships are more joyful, and communities become stronger when optimism is at the core. That's why I surround myself with optimistic people. Those negative Nellies, they don't last in my life. I mean, literally, like not even 5 minutes. They're gone. So if you think that you're not super optimistic, the good news is that while some have a greater tendency towards optimism, like myself, it can be cultivated by anyone, because research shows that only about 25% of it is inheritable. The rest is within your control. The other 75%, those are learned. That's more of the nurture, not the nature. So here's some practices you can learn to become more optimistic. 1, view the world through a positive lens. This practice, which is known as positive reframing in psychology, involves constantly choosing to see the bright side in situations, that silver lining I described earlier. Because life is going to throw you curveballs, right? But optimism allows you to focus on what you can control rather than on what you cannot control. Acknowledge the challenges, but also recognize the opportunities that can arise from them. And then practice gratitude. This has worked for me immensely. One of the most effective ways to foster optimism is by practicing gratitude. Simple acts like journaling a few minutes each day, which is what I do in the morning and night, can help make a world of difference. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you're lacking to what you already have, and it creates a mindset of abundance. And it gives back in a pay it forward sense of the word. Another thing you can do is mind what you consume. Trust me, there is plenty of negativity out there, and you don't want to let that into your head and into your heart and your soul. So be mindful of what you allow in, whether it's the people you surround yourself with, like I mentioned for myself, the media you consume. I don't watch the news. I don't read any of that stuff ever, or the content you watch. These influences shape your mental state. So remove those negative influences from your life and replace them with positivity. Follow some uplifting social media accounts like iSpark Change, read some motivational books, engage with some supportive individuals, which is what I love to do, and that's going to make a huge difference in your life. Now, another one that works for me and those close to me is staying physically active, because regular exercise is one of the best ways to boost optimism, because by exercising, you're going to increase all those feel-good chemicals in your brain, like serotonin, endorphins, BDNF, and those are all going to enhance your mood, and they're going to reduce the stress hormone cortisol, which you do not want. So even if you exercise like 20, 30 minutes a day, that's significantly going to increase your mental and emotional well-being. So overall, optimism is a powerful tool for your health. It's also powerful for your mental health, because it literally will rewire your brain, and it activates areas that are involved in creativity and problem solving. Optimists are more flexible. They're better at adapting to unexpected changes, and they're more efficient at processing negative information. Now, it's not just about looking for that silver lining, like I said, or looking on the bright side. It's about being able to confront those challenges head on when you're faced with them, with clarity and resilience. And the ability to process negative information without getting overwhelmed decreases your vulnerability to mood disorders like depression and anxiety, which makes it a powerful defense against mental health struggles. So, good for your physical health, good for your mental health, good for increasing your longevity. It's a no-brainer, right? The last reason why you want to embrace optimism is because it's going to spark positive change, which we talk about on this show all the time. Now, here's some things that you can do to help foster that positive change. You can ask yourself a few questions in these difficult situations, which are going to help shift that perspective. Ask yourself, where do I have control to make things better? Focus on the actions, the things you can control, and the things you can do that will lead to positive change. What must I accept? Recognize what you can't control so you can channel your energy towards areas where you do have influence. And then how can I take productive action now? Life is only 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond. So what steps can you take right now to improve your situation? Another great one is, how can I keep one issue from affecting other parts of my life? Just because you spilled milk, right? Like the old saying goes, that doesn't mean it's going to ruin your whole day. Set boundaries to prevent a challenging situation from spilling over into other areas of your life. And ask yourself simply, what's good? Even in the toughest circumstances, and trust me, I've been through a lot, as you've heard on the show, there is always some good in those situations. Even if you don't see it in the moment, it will come later, I promise you. So ask yourself what good and what new opportunities are out there in the situation. You know, at iSpark Change, we believe that optimism is the cornerstone for creating positive, lasting change. By embracing a hopeful, solution-oriented mindset, we are better equipped to lead, inspire, and uplift others. So let's continue to spark change one optimistic thought and action at a time. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So please share them on social media and in the comments. I promise I will read all of them and personally will respond to any of them. Those are my thoughts for today on optimism. It's very important. Make it a part of your life. Thanks for listening today, and we'll see you next time on the iSpark Change podcast.
Do you want Rick to speak at your event? Here's what others have to say.
Did not know his story, and it was so inspirational, and his presence on stage, his authenticity was just incredible.
Performance made me feel some type of way. My name is Craig Siegel.
If you're looking for a speaker for your next event, hire Rick. I promise you this, you will not be disappointed.
Visit rickcornelis.com to book him today.
Remember, Impact Heroes, every positive action can be a spark moment that has a ripple effect that spreads far beyond the initial act. So go out there and spark change. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, then please smash that 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. We value your comments and we want to hear from you in the community. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and we'll see you next week on the iSpark Change podcast.